Good afternoon, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCalsabre here. I hope you're all doing fine. Yes, this is me, and this is December 6th, and this is my November 2022 channel report, which was supposed to go out on the 27th of November. But unfortunately, I made an unexpected trip to the hospital. I'll talk a lot about that a little bit later when I talk. So today's going to be pretty normal. I'll be talking about videos that went up in November, games that I played in November, some of my plans for December, my thoughts. I'll be talking about my favorite teams again and get an update on what I think about that. And then the last thing I'll talk about is me and my personal health. I just put out a video a couple days ago to let everybody know I was back, and I really appreciated the response by everybody. Before we get going, I'd like to thank all of our subscribers, new and long term, for their continued support. As of today, we have 606 subscribers on the channel. So take a second, go down there and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and push it out into your social media channels. Yes, and leave some remarks. It's always good to see remarks. It also helps the channel grow. And so whenever you're watching this, either live or later, take care of business for us. Help us out. All right. A couple of questions I've had asked me about the channel. One of them was, do I have a flight sim program? And no, I don't. I've looked at a couple times at Microsoft's flight sim, but I haven't really gotten into the interest of flying a plane. I guess maybe after controlling planes for 20 years, my interest is a little bit low, but you never know. I might look into one at a future date, but not right now. The other one was, I think it was a month or so ago, I was asked to do a presentation of Brothers at War, the Civil War game from Compass Games. Well, it's taken me a while, and it is in progress. I did punch out all of the counters and sorted them the best that I could, but there were some counters in there that I was not familiar with. I'd never seen in any of my other war games, and I got plenty of them. So I have to go back, and I'm going back to the rule books and sort them out a little bit more, and then I'm going to be setting up for a demo with a small scenario, light counter count, so people can see the quality of the game and make a decision on whether they want to, be able to play or not. But, if you have any things you'd like me to look at or into, or possibly do a video on, let me know. I'll always look into something, and if if I'm up to it or capable of it, I'll give it a go. Okay, November. There's only 14 videos in November. That was the lowest that we've had in quite a few months now. And part of it is the lower numbers is that the hockey, football, and basketball games, they take a lot longer to play. And I only will do like the fourth quarter or the third period of the hockey games. And so, I did get some inside the crease games done. I got a replay basketball game done. I got one or two second season football games done. Right now I have the hockey game on the table is Hockey Bones, and I did do one video on that. Made some mistakes, but I learned some stuff. And then I still have replay basketball on the table, and I'm getting about ready to set up Inside Blitz football, as I'm also working on Brothers at War. But they take a long time. There was games that I played in November. There was 5 different sport games, which I just named off a bunch of those in there. And then that Superstar Baseball League that I'm into, we're now into the playoffs, and we've had a 2-week shutdown because of me. So next week we'll be starting the 4 division round playoff series. The Yankees will be visiting Detroit to start their series. The Angels will be visiting Boston. Atlanta will be going to St. Louis, and the Giants will be going to San Diego. Those are the best of 5 series. And then when there's them, they'll go down to the ALCS and the NLCS. and I'll keep you updated on that also. Uh, the Extra Life Marathon that my team, the Champions for Cherry, participated in on November 5th at my house was really good. We had 12 players on and off through the 24 hours in my house, constantly playing games. And they played a combination of 23 different board and video games. And we raised $1,689 as of today. For that's not a lot, but every penny helps the children. That's what it's all about. One of the big surprises that I have during the marathon was I had not a bunch. There was 4 teenagers in the house at the ages of 16 to 18. And my grandson went back in and they brought out Guitar Hero with the guitars, the drums, and everything. And these kids rocked for about 4 hours, and they knew the old songs too. So I was really surprised because when Guitar Hero came out, they were all youngsters. So I don't know how they knew how to play the game in that, but they had a lot of fun. And some of the adults joined in with them and got going. So it turned out to be a good 24 hours. No, I didn't make it the whole time. I had to take about a 3-hour snooze, about 3 in the morning till 6. But in the board games, and one of the games we played a tournament, and everybody had to play in it. And it was from that Kickstarter that I got, Thunder Rolls. And in the tournament, and then you scored like the top 2 from each race got into, or the top people got points and everything. And then this top 7 players raced in a championship game. And I lucked out and won that game on the very last move. I was 1 space behind the car in front of me. They stopped. They were done, and I had 1 action to take, and it was to move 2 spaces, and I moved up and around them for the win. That was right at the end. That was a lot of fun. But everybody played, and everybody seemed to like it a lot. I don't remember all the other games we played at this time, but there was a whole bunch of them. Okay, other video games, as you guys have been knowing, I still play my Tower 3D Pro. Now I'm behind on that. I was trying to catch up and try to keep it once a week. It's my air traffic control one. In American Truck Simulator. And now and there, I just recently picked up the Texas DLC, and I was working the Texas event. I don't know if it's over or not since I've been missing. And so I'll check into it. This is the first I've really had the energy or the incentive to do a full video. I have not had the energy or the incentive to actually sit down and play those games on the table, but I'm going to try tomorrow to play at least one of them. I got to get this routine going back because I'm losing a lot of time here. The channel's losing a lot of time. Other things, my old turntable died a minute. I got a brand new one called, and it's Fluence R82, and it sounds beautiful. And so I went out to a local record store, Wisecrack Records, on Black Friday, which was also National Record Store Day, and spent more money than I planned on. But I got some good stuff in there. And then I also went to Line Breakers, which is the local game store on Black Friday. And then I ordered a game called Firefly Misbehaving, and to support them in their efforts. They're most recently just getting opened back up to some degree compared because of COVID and all of the other stuff that was going on. All right, December plans. That war room session that we were going to have got canceled, and we're still recruiting for some more players on that. But I don't know if I get it up in December. The reason being, I'm already a week into December. December is the Christmas holiday season. The Christmas holidays in my family are the biggest holidays. We go total out on decorating. The other day, my son-in-law and my granddaughter, and she's only 10, they come over and they put up all my outside lights for me. And my daughter was over helping cleaning the house so I can start putting up decorations. So that's going to take some time. And then what it also does is it shuts down the card table in the living room, and then it shuts down part of the big table. And so the number of games gets limited that I can work on this month. But I will get some stuff out there. Our monthly game night with the 4 guys, myself and 3 other grandson and 2 other guys, in November got canceled we're got to reschedule. It's rescheduled now. It's scheduled in December, and we're going to be playing Abyss, a 4-player Abyss game with the Kraken and the Leviathan expansions. This ought to be a lot of fun. Okay, and that'll be on the 21st of December. Replay basketball, stay up for another game or two. Hockey Bones, it's going to be up for a game or two as I'm playing the 1992-1993 playoffs in the Hockey Bones and Inside the Blitz football. Okay. Board games. I have been remiss on posting board games other than sports games, and I'm going to look at getting those back onto the table more often. There's a lot of people out there, they're not into sports games, but they love the multiplayer games. And I'm not talking about my war games. I mean like the Abyss and the new one I just bought, Firefly, Misbehaving, and all the other, because I have a lot of those type of games too that I haven't been getting out lately. And I'm going to try to make this evaluate the channel for going on into 2023 so that I can start reaching across more of an audience of his out there. And so that's one of my plans at this point in time. Okay, I got a couple of people out there watching. Stop in and say hello. Okay, and again, if you'd like me to play something or put it in the remarks, and I'll see what I can do. All right, my pro teams that I follow. You can see it when you saw the thumbnail that had all of the hats on it. Detroit Tigers. Well, I'm glad that season was over. Another really bad one. Who knows what's going to happen next year? The Celtics. Oh my goodness gracious! I'm so happy about the Celtics. I've only got to watch them about two or three times this season. You know, they ended up last year in January. They were like 11th place, and they ended up going to the finals. And now they have kept that momentum up over the offseason, and they are now 20-5 with basically the same group of players. That is unbelievable. And their two young stars, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, are just really, really good. You know, there's been rumors, oh, we're going to split them up or not. I hope they don't split them up. They really got a combination going there. And all the other guys are doing well also. Yeah. The Sabers. Oh, excuse me for itching the nose, folks. Sabers are 11-13-1. They recently, in November, beginning of November, they had an 8-game losing streak after starting off good. Well, they're starting to play a little bit better now. As I forecast at the beginning of the season, I didn't forecast them to be in the playoffs. And I do think, though, by the end, they'll be better than what they were last year. Their top line is still producing really good. That line of Tuck, Skinner, and Thompson, they're like animals. I have to laugh at them. Now, I call them the young guns. We got a line of Dylan Cousins, Jack Quinn, and J.J. Peterka. Cousins is the center. He's 21 years old. This is his third season. The other two guys are rookies. These guys are starting to click and starting to score. So it's going to be pretty nice if we can finally get a second line that scores more consistently than what the other ones have done in the past. I'm looking forward to that. Hope that really happens. They got some tough road. They got 3 games coming up this week, and 2 of them back-to-back against Pittsburgh on Friday and Saturday. Then the Buffalo Bills, 9-3. They're not playing the way they were the first 4 games of the season. Lately, they've been winning a couple of games, and after they lost a couple of games and looking bad, and then they got some luck. They got some help this last weekend in the NFL with Kansas City lost and Miami lost. And just those 2 losses there moved Buffalo into first place in the AFC because they got the same record as Kansas, but they got the tiebreaker because they beat Kansas already. Now, I'm going to be really interested to see, okay, you made had some problems, lost a couple of games, you got it back. Can you keep it? Because 1 or 2 losses, the way the AFC is jammed up this year, man, you could be dropped down from first to the second wild card or something like that. So it's going to be interesting. 5 games left in the season. All right. So let's see if they can hang on to it. All right, me. some of you know, on November 27th, I made an unexpected trip to the hospital in an ambulance as I went into an adrenal crisis. They never did determine what caused the crisis. I'm back out again. I'm gaining my strength back. Still a little bit weak. They tested me for the flu. They tested me for COVID. They tested me for influenza. They just never did figure out what caused the adrenal crisis. And I don't know if you're, because I have Addison's disease, I can go into an adrenal crisis if I catch anything. And adrenal crisis takes me from full energy to not being able to walk within 3 hours. That's how fast it takes over my body. So I got in there. They got me all turned around and everything with massive, massive doses of steroids. And so I'm very grateful to be here doing this video today. I'll tell you that much. They had some, then I'm in recovery in the hospital trying to recover from my crisis. The endocrinology is in there, and then all of a sudden my heart went into atrial fib. So then they had to call in the cardiologist. And because this is was not a VA, so now I got to get all of these bills and see what the VA is going to pay, and then because this was a civilian hospital. Hey, Jeffrey, thanks for coming on board today. Thanks for wishing me back. Glad to see me back in action. I appreciate everybody on this that support the channel. Okay, and so then they had to call a cardiologist, and one thing after another. Then I was going to tell you, you guys that were following me I've been having hip and back issues for several months now, all the way back to since Labor Day or Memorial Day. And they ran all of the tests. And so my daughter and I went down and got the results of everything. And it was just what I expected. I have a completely compressed disc at L4, L5, which causes, once I'm standing for a little while, causes the pain in the right leg and everything. Options weren't good. The only options there is for that is surgery or spinal injections into my spine to try to shrink the nerves being compressed. Well, it didn't take me but 30 seconds to make the decision to tell the doctor, no, there's not going to be no surgery. I've had spinal surgery 4 times. I'm 75 years old and I have Addison's disease. So all of that does not add up to real good results of living through this surgery. And he agreed with me. So starting in January, I'm going to the pain management clinic and we'll see what happens from there. But, it is what it is. I'm just not going to have another surgery. Okay. And what else we got going on here? I guess that's about all. Other than that, doing good. And while I was in I started the process while I was in the hospital because of my spine. Before I was in the hospital, my daughter finished it up. So the DMV did approve, and I've got a handicap placard now so that I can park closer to the clinics and to the stores and so forth, and don't have to walk so far with this bad hip and bad back. The one thing I did thinking about when I was in the hospital, thinking about when I got home, the week of Thanksgiving, I was out and about more than I normally am, but I was trying to be good. I wore a mask everywhere I went, but I was out among a lot of people that were not wearing masks. And, 4 years ago when I caught the flu, I wasn't wearing a mask. Somebody gave it, and I almost died from that. And so I said, well, this is still flu season. I said, well, I better cut back on my visits to places for a while. Because I got a big holiday coming up here with my family, and I don't want to be sick, and I don't want them to be sick. So that's going to be about it. Unless anybody out there's got a question, wants to fire a question, because this is question and answer. I should have mentioned that at the beginning when I first opened up the focus, or opened up the, yes, I can't even think right, opened up the video. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching the video. Thank everybody for the support. And want to just say, SoCalsabre, this is a holiday season. Let's all take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other, and let's all stay safe.